Today is Monday, June 29th. It's 10 a.m. This is the weekly work session of the Board of Commissioners. I'm Gage Floor. With me is Commissioner Sharon Bolos to my left and Commissioner Harvey to my immediate east. So with that, Commissioner, I was looking for discussion approval of minutes for the commission work session held on June 22nd, 2026.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Let's go to our 10 a.m. discussion regarding UTABA Dam Watershed Agreement. We have with us Ashley Tolman, Gary Myers with us, Sean Wilkinson. Portland Erickson is not here. Lisa is not here as well. But we do have Tammy Edelot from planning. So Ashley, you're listed first. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the time. So what this is, as you're aware, we've been working on the UTABA retarding dam watershed plan, an update to that dam to help it meet current standards and everything. As part of that project, they have asked us to review this watershed agreement and to sign it. And so I have worked on this with Cortland Erickson from our attorney's office to review it and make sure he's okay with everything. Some of the things that are in this that I wanted you to be aware of is that so in this agreement, which we will present to the commission for formal approval, maybe next week. One of the things is that the sponsor, the Weber County is a sponsor in this agreement, but we will acquire such real property. And so in the past, there's some property the county owns, or currently, I should say, currently we own some property as part of the North Fork Park.
All right.
Some of the dam sits on property owned by the UTABA camp. And then also the Durfee Creek Homeowners Association owns a corner of the property as well that the dam sits on. And so we've been in communication with them. They've been part of this study as a stakeholder, and they've been to many meetings and are aware. At first, we talked about buying the property that the dam sits on. They don't seem to like that idea. They would like to maintain the ownership. And maybe look at doing an easement.
You're talking about Durfee Creek
Both.
or both?
Both Durfee Creek and.
And you.
And the camp. They appear to prefer, because the footprint of the dam is gonna expand.
Right.
Not drastically, but definitely outside of what we currently use. So in order to do that, we'd like to make sure we're on good grounds and have a formal easement that outlines that. And so before we can get construction funds, Weber County will need to secure those rights, being an easement in this case. That was one of the items to bring up. Also, they lay out a cost share, and in this agreement, the total cost is 6.2 million. The cost to the county would be just under 2 million, assuming these numbers all stay somewhat the same. And so that's part of that is those property rights, securing those property rights. So
Part of the 2 million.
yeah, part of the 2 million
Okay.
in this was 150,000 for the land acquisition and permits.
You mean the easement? The easements.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so that's something, we'll need to look at securing funds for, whether that's a grant we ask the state from, whether it's flood control money, we look at using, and I think there's probably at least a year or two before we're looking at this construction wise. Once we get this agreement signed, which is more or less, we'll continue to be a sponsor and a partner in this, then they're gonna look at asking for money to go into final design from NRCS. And NRCS funds that design, I believe 100%. But then when it gets to construction, then we participate in that cost.
So we've got 2 years before we actually have to write a check for our portion. Is that,
Assuming things go smoothly.
Okay.
Yeah, cause we don't know time wise. The impression we get from our consultant who works a lot with NRCS is that NRCS is very excited about this project. And we've seen that in their reviews as we've gone through this process with the watershed plan. Their reviews have been very timely, and so I think when the projects move smoothly, it looks good above their level, and so it seems to be they're very motivated on this project to get
Okay.
it moving forward. So that's, encouraging to us.
so we could either look for a state grant or possibly a federal grant to make up for the $2 million differential. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
We probably need to get the right of way easements secured.
Yeah,
Before we can go to construction, though. They generally don't
Oh,
want
no.
to advertise when there's limitations like that on a project like that, but. The easements would be the smaller portion of that $2 million, and so. Then we'd have to find the funding source for the rest of it.
yeah, I would agree. I don't think you wanna do much until you have the easement secured.
Correct.
Correct. And you think you could do that for 150?
That's their estimate.
Okay,
I think so. I think considering how much the footprint's changing, it's not very drastic.
right.
And all along up till now, they've been really good participating partners in the outcome of this project. They understand the concerns we have with the current reservoir, the current dam and its condition, and so they're very willing partners up till now. They've been really good to work with.
Well, I would hope so, because this benefits them as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
there's a direct benefit to both those entities.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, anything else?
No, some of the other stuff is just that we'll follow federal law.
Well, that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Generally recommended.
Yeah,
It's kind of surprised that we need to agree to that. I didn't think we had a choice.
that's
but-
not a bad thing to hear. I'll be meeting with the senator later this afternoon. I'll pass that on. We're fair, we're fully behind federal statute.
Pledge to be law abiding
Yes.
citizens.
All right, Commissioner Harvey, questions, comments? I know this is up your alley.
Several things. So first off, I'm gonna ask some obvious questions, just because those who may listen to this hopefully in the future who care. First off, I want to comment, I really appreciate frequency and the activity on this project. It comes around a lot. I see that. I've participated in a few, not a lot of those. I think it's good, and I think it's refreshing. I know that there were to be some minor lot adjustments that were requested in the beginning of this, as it shared North Fork Park and the Camp UTABA up there. I want to make sure that with Culture Parks and Recreation, as it relates to especially Todd Ferrario, who was the general manager, so to speak, of that, I want to make sure that those issues have been taken care of in this plan or proposal. I've not seen anything that protects the North Fork Park, and I want to make sure that into perpetuity, North Fork Park is protected. With regards to ownership, I don't know that I care about that, but I certainly, to have an easement, it would need to be a perpetual easement. I'm not interested in any easement that has a cap on it of like 5 years or 10 years. My guess is, I'm gonna say 99 years at least. And my guess is that they want to retain ownership because they may or may not be worried about access to the body of water for fishing or recreating or something like that. And I get that with regards to the Durfee Creek. With regards to participation, that dam was built and created as a water storage source. I don't know that we use it a ton right now, but if this land piece that I mentioned just before is there, we may be able to use that with Cutler Flat right up by there, and isn't that the area that we're talking
That's
about?
the area.
So that could be a possibility and some improvements made, but I certainly, if we're gonna lay out that kind of money on this project, that would be something that should be considered. And with regards to the 2 million, if it's not spent now, then we are committing a future commission to these funds. I would certainly hope that the Division of Water or Reclamation, things like that would help us with something like this, because this is a project that, although it directly benefits just a few users of that water district, it indirectly can benefit a few more who use the park, but all people of Weber County would have to pay into that. And so those are my issues, but I don't mind being, because of how they've participated thus far. It seems like it's been a very good cohesive group, and I really don't have any issues against that. But philosophically speaking, I certainly want to make sure our Weber County's needs are also met through this whole agreement. So those would be my comments or statements, or if you want to state those as questions, whatever that is.
Great, thank you. Commissioner Bowles?
I don't think I have anything to add to that. I just reiterate that we want to make sure the county's interests are protected.
Okay, what else?
I think one thing I'd add is that, we do have a control structure that's being proposed in the new design that would allow water to be held back
Right.
for fire, fighting efforts.
A dip pond,
Yeah.
is this, yeah,
So the question of recreation was brought up during the process. Recreation facilities don't, we would have had to participate more in the design funding if it was a recreation facility. So it's not being deemed as a recreation facility.
when you say that, you mean there won't be
Its main purpose isn't.
the water still, I understand, but they'll still be fishing.
The nature of the water that goes into it will preserve that. The initial intention of all this, even from when it was first created, was water detention to slow it down, because you look at the back of that mountainside, there's very little soil, right? All rock. So when that water comes down, its intended purpose was to slow the onslaught of just massive amounts of waters that comes off. So it doesn't always generally have a large amount available for recreation per se, but our intentions were to try to create a source for fire.
I got one other thing too, just want to clearly state, this is in unincorporated area of the county, is that, just making sure we're.
Yeah.
It's true.
I think Durfee Creek is part of the new city.
Yes, and so what it does is it directly benefits those in the city, but because the structure's in the county, okay. Say what you will, and all those other restrictions or in the design, whatever, it's not favored heavily right now from what I've heard in the county's favor. They just asking for money. And so that's where I'm at.
Okay. Keep us posted.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like, I can check on some of these things just to make sure nothing in here is gonna hurt our future park plans, our, getting a perpetual easement funding and the recreation aspect, but if everything's clear, we'll load it into the portal to have you, approve this at our next meeting next week.
Cortland, if I may, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cortland, would you make sure too, I don't want there to be, if there's an easement, I don't want them, whoever the other parties might be, being able to pull back that easement after they've received the funds for any reason. That easement's gotta be ongoing, and so if we just make sure that we can keep that easement, and they just can't, because they feel for whatever reason that they wanna change that, then all of a sudden, I just wanna protect watch out for us, Ash,
Yes, sir.
watch out
I
for us.
agree. Okay,
I think they're pretty good at knowing what easements do and don't do, so I trust you.
Yeah, and we have a second level of eyes with the NRCS,
Right.
making sure that everything's in place.
NRCS is not gonna let it happen without a perpetual
Yeah.
easement. They do that day in and day out, so we don't have to educate them. They know what they're doing.
Okay.
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks very
Commissioners.
much.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Gary. All right, let's go into our 10:15 discussion regarding landowner, developer and planning commission update regarding West Weber Freeway. Charlie's here with us. Is Rick coming?
He is, it should be.
Sean Wilkinson, Gary Meyer stays with us, Tammy's still here, and Andrew Favero is on the list, but maybe he's walking in as we
Steve,
speak.
who's out there, Commissioner?
Yeah, see, they're out there. There's Rick. Was Andrew out there, Rick?
No,
Didn't see
Andrew
him.
wasn't out. Well, let me double check. Yes, I'll boy.
Morning, Mr. Crockett.
Good morning.
He's not.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So Charlie, you're listed first. Go ahead.
I am, and if it's okay. If
Tammy?
you, Tammy, I'd like Tammy maybe you try to take over from here.
Sure. This is a copy for Commissioner Harvey.
We've seen that earlier.
So, I think per your direction, we recently met with the planning commission, we met with developers, we met with landowners to kind of get their feel for the preferred alignment of that legacy corridor out west, and the need to keep it west of the river. So we met with them and they all agreed that that's where it really should go. It would benefit most everyone out that way, if that's where the alignment is. Where UDOT has kind of kept their plans a little close to the vest. We've drafted a letter. So when we met with the developers, they kind of came up with a list of things that needed to get taken care of. One of those was putting together some correspondence that everyone could sign and get to UDOT. We haven't seen that yet. So we took the liberty of drafting something. This is just a draft, but it does explain the need to keep that alignment west of the river. And so that's what we wanted to chat with you about, make sure there weren't any changes to that in the commissioners. Was there anything else, Charlie?
No.
Well, I think that's pretty much it. So if you guys are good with it, we will meet with them, make sure we've got everyone on board with a final draft of this and get signatures on it and get it to UDOT. I think we're not sure who to.
That's the only thing I was gonna ask is, who would you guys like this to be addressed to?
Send it to the new director of Region 1 and send it to Carlos Becerra.
Okay.
And also send it to Senator Wayne Harper and Representative Christopherson.
Wayne. Harper.
Yeah,
Do you have the new director's information, Charlie?
I do, yeah, thank you.
yeah, let's send it to, yeah, so we've read that. I think, do you have any questions?
No,
It's important. And
Yes.
again, it appears we're being slow cooked by UDOT, which is not unusual. But, and again, they can either accept our recommendation or they don't have to, but I don't think we'd be doing our job if we didn't express our desire for this thing to go west based upon a lot of things.
Would it be a good idea, since we're doing that, to also send it to Speaker Schultz?
Well, could be, but it won't make a difference. No.
Well, in as much as he was on the Transportation Committee, and also
Wouldn't hurt.
Representative DeFay out of Davis County, she's the one that took Brad Wilson's spot. She's on the,
Just send it to, no, we
WFRC.
just need to send it to Transportation Committee.
okay.
Yeah. Schultz would be okay, but he hasn't been actively engaged in this debate, so. Anyway, let's do that.
Okay,
Perfect.
I think that's it. You guys, did I
thanks for
miss
taking the
anything?
initiative on that.
Yeah.
We'll see where. it
Yeah, I
goes,
appreciate you
but-
following up. Again, we'll just, as long as I think we keep making communication that what is best for Weber County, we're doing our job.
And everyone that we met with was on board. We didn't have anyone that disagreed
Yeah.
with where that alignment needed to go.
Yeah, I mean, so landowners, developers, planning, I mean, yeah. Okay. Appears to me you've done your job. Anything else? Anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right, thanks, folks. Appreciate being here. I'll take a motion that we leave our work session and go into an administrative meeting.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're now in administrative meeting. discussion regarding use of heritage and mortuary building. And the Weber Center update.
Yeah,
John?
we'll have
maybe.
Christie, we're ready to go back.
It's disabled.
The video's disabled in here.
It's on there for 11.
You guys can do it without me. I've got an 11
Okay.
o'clock with Commissioner Frower tomorrow.
We're still disabled.
Talk to her.
We got audio.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I could get it on.
Gary knew about
Yeah, okay, where you go.
Did that work?
Start my video. There we go. Okay, we're started. Okay, great. Okay, we're now at our 11 AM. It's really 12 AM. Discussion regarding workman's comp. Chris Crockett, Emily Wild, Cortland Erickson. Sherry Crowley is not here. Chris Crockett is here with us. So Chris, you're listed first.
Commissioners, I'm gonna give you some options to see if you wanna expedite this, and have me, update you later. Or if you wanna go through the full issue now. So tomorrow you have an agenda item on, for consideration to determine whether or not you want to give notice to USIB that you intend to, terminate the participation, the joint, participation in the joint purchase program for workers' comp through USIP. There's very specific deadlines that has to be done by. We have to have it done before July 1st. But you don't have, you can rescind that notice with 150 days before the start of the new year. And so really you have until the end of July to make a decision. If you, we're here and we're ready to talk to you about the questions that we posed to the trust with regards to how they came up with their rates and all of the questions that we discussed with you in the last work session. We can do that now, or if you want, we can put a hold on that and I can come with Emily and Carrie and Cortland at separate dates and meet with you individually to go over this. If we did that, we would still have to proceed with the meeting tomorrow. However, I have to draft a resolution for that meeting. I would not draft I wasn't gonna do this anyway, but I wanted to draft the resolution as such, not saying we are going with the trust because I don't believe we've given you enough information to make an informed decision on what would be the best interest of the county. And we haven't even presented another option, which we identified since our last meeting, which is you could do this self-funded if you wanted to.
Right.
So all the resolution would be, and I'd have to convey this to the trust because one of my concerns is that it goes out and is used as a marketing tool, and I'm not saying they would do this, but it's just a concern I have as a marketing tool, say Weber County's on board, they're going with us when you have not actually made that decision yet. So I can draft the resolution in a way that just says, we're giving our notice to preserve our rights and our options. Just knowing that we can rescind this notice before, the end of July. Pursuant to USIP's bylaws, they also have the right to come in and address the commission prior to that deadline to be able to rescind that notice. And so Johnny has already sent me an indication that he's reserving that right to come in and address the commission. So if you don't have time today, that's okay. I can still move forward and draft the resolution. We'll give the notice tomorrow. And then we will start coming and meeting with you to make sure you have all of the information to address the matter, or we can go through it now. I've attached the original term sheet that was sent over to us that we discussed last time. These were the questions that Johnny Miller came and asked us to present to the trust. We had a phone conversation with the trust, and then we received not a contract, but a written response to those questions that were asked. We were going to go over those with you. What would be the best use of your time?
Well, so here's my opinion. I can always get up. There's a lot of information that I think we have to discuss, including the possibility of self-funding that we really haven't talked about, including the answers that we haven't received from the trust. But I think it's in the best interest to still give the notice. We have 30 days and ample time to go through this, and this deserves some attention.
Okay.
Not more than just the 20 or 30 minutes we have now.
I support that.
So
Okay.
that's what I'd like to do.
So with your permission, I will proceed forward, create the resolution, draft it as such.
Yeah.
Saying we're not going with the trust, we're just giving our
No.
notice to preserve our rights. And then we'll start meeting with you either in a work session or individually, however you would best want to get information.
And if the question comes up, I think we need to say, look, we're looking at staying where we are. we're looking at the trust, we're looking at we've actually looking at all options that are on the table for the best interest of the taxpayers of Weber County.
I'll make sure all parties, USIP and the trust know that.
Yeah, I just think no reason to paint ourselves in a corner right now.
Right.
And that's how I noticed the agenda was just to consider the possibility
Yeah.
of not participating.
No, but I think if we should still give notice.
Yep.
Just so that we have that 30 days to
Yep.
dig into this.
Yeah.
Okay, we can.
You
do that.
okay?
Yep.
All right,
Mhm.
Okay, all good. And I'll leave those with you so you can review them.
thank you.
Okay.
And then, so do you want to meet with this individually or
What would be best for you? Doesn't matter to me.
I don't? Whatever's, I guess whatever you can fit into our
No
schedule.
problem.
Maybe meet with us individually and then let's have a work session. So that any questions we may have, we
Yeah.
can bring up in that.
Maybe I'll start doing that. I'm gonna be out of town for at least 2 Mondays in July, and I'll
Okay.
have Cortland help me. So we'll start looking at your schedules to be able to
Yeah.
get that to you.
Got it.
We like Cortland.
Yeah, he's great.
What did
He's
Commissioner
amazing.
Jenkins say about our friend Cortland?
He is full of excitement, enthusiasm.
Ambassador. Oh, that's you.
Would you like a motion to adjourn?
I would like
So
that.
moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion adjourned. So we will see.